Hey crafters, crocheters, knitters, and yarn enthusiasts. Are you guys ready for another random yarn bin that doesn't actually have a lot of yarn in it? It has just abandoned projects in it. Today is, or should be, Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. It's almost Christmas for most of us. Happy holidays to you. I'm still in November filming this, so to future viewers and whatever. My name is Jenny. Welcome to Granny Square Peg. It is a channel where I am going through all my crochet stuff and I am cleaning, sorting, purging, and organizing all of my yarn, my hooks, my crochet books and patterns, and all of my projects that I have abandoned in the last 5 or 7 or 10 years. Alright, so today is random yarn bin number 15. Right, like last week was random yarn bin number 1. This is number 15. It is still the long one that goes underneath of the bed. It's under bed storage, right? And I do have some yarn in here. And I say abandoned projects, but I think it's only one abandoned project and a bunch of samples. Because you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know I like to make samples with yarn. Alright, let's start. I'm just going to start on the top. This, it has a note attached to it. First time doing single crochet in back loop only. I like it, and I made a blanket with this stitch. I did the baby purple and the grays. Okay, yeah, that's in my project pile. I made this in September 2017. The yarn is Studio Classic by Nicole. The color is Antique White. Number 4 medium worsted weight. And I used a size G crochet hook, or a 4.25 millimeter. Well, look at that. I wrote myself a note and attached it. So this is my sample of trying out a single crochet in the back loop only. I actually enjoy the texture of this stitch. I think it's wonderful. And I went on to create a baby blanket with it. So there's a little sample. And by little, I mean, I don't know, 2 feet. With maybe 20 stitches wide. Now, I do have an idea in mind on what I'm going to do with all of my samples when I get them all together. But I'm going to keep that a secret for now. Okay? Okay, I was thinking of Christmas and gingerbreads with the browns, the creams, the reds, like when you do a gingerbread house. So like brown for the gingerbread, white for the icing. And I was trying to see if it would work up well in a pattern, but I picked the wrong shades of brown. This is not the right shade. It needs to be lighter and warmer. So there's another sample. It is single crochets, double crochets, because I was working on colors. And this was not what I wanted it to be. So, there you go. Just goes in my sample pile. Okay, now this is Tunisian crochet. I mentioned this in one of my other videos because I had another sample, that purplish pink one that had kept curling. So yeah, I got the curling all straightened out. It's not curled, right? Because I finally learned to use a bigger hook than what I would typically use. I made this little strip just to practice the stitch. And this is Karen Simply Soft. And I think I got the hang of it. Came out pretty good. So it is called the Tunisian Simple Stitch. I was drawing a blank on it the other day. So this is my first time trying it. I have the year down as 2017 or 2018. And I had done a couple of white ones. There's a second one. And there's a third one. And then I had done a few with multiple colors as leftovers. So there's number 1. And it just got easier and I got better at it. There's number 2. and number 3 for the white. I love the texture of this, how it's nice and smooth on this side, but on the back side it's got a little bumpy texture to it. I like the Tunisian simple stitch. Alright, so those are the white ones. And because I wanted to keep going because I just wanted to keep practicing. Did you see that? I almost knocked over my ring light. It fell into my bin. When I fall in love with a stitch, I like to keep going and keep practicing with it. Even if I'm just making little squares or strips or panels, I just keep going until I am comfortable with my skill that I can just sit down and do it without struggling with it, without thinking about it, and it becomes second nature. So that's what I was doing. So here's blue and tan, which travels down into pink. But the pink, for some reason, I don't think it's Caron Simply Soft. It's a little thinner, so it does keep rolling in on me. And then I did one in baby pastel colors, pink, minty green, that light purple, and the blue, and did it again, and then again, right? How cute is that? And you see I didn't sew in my tail ends because it was just a practice. Alright, I did one in true rainbow fashion. Red, pink, with some yellow, golden yellow, green, small little bit of light green, darker green, blue, purple, and some real orange at the bottom. I was trying to make them all the same length in case I decided to put them together and make like a patchwork kind of blanket. So they should all be the same length, but don't quote me on that yet, because I'm just going through this real quick. So just a bunch of samples for Tunisian Simple Stitch, and a lot of leftovers from Caron Simply Soft. So some of the colors are complementary and some are not. That's fine. So yeah, definitely random yarn bin number 15. Right, I got another set of granny square samples. They were either made in 2016, 17, or 18. There are 3 rounds. It's 2 rounds of variegated, 1 round of white. I was practicing join as you go. So these two here, the purple and the white with the pink and the white, I did a join as you go. And then I had 3 more colors that I wanted to do. This color, this one. So like these are variegated colors from Red Heart Super Saver. And I still have these colors. They're in my cabinet. The join as you go, it's okay. I've just found it okay. I really just prefer to hold my 2 squares together and just do a single crochet to stitch them together. So that's what this is. It's just another sample that I was playing around with some colors. I'm so glad I wrote myself some notes. Alright, so in the last video I showed you guys on my Caron Simply Soft where I had done a color sample blanket, and then I had crocheted a corner to corner square, a traditional granny square, and a solid granny square. Well, I was also making another project at the time. This is, I made a scarf, okay? It is a ripple with Lucy from Attic 24. It's her pattern, the neat ripple, but I only made it like this wide, and I did 2 rows of a color, right? Anytime I used the Caron Simply Soft and I used it in the blanket and with the squares, I would use a little bit of it to make 2 rows, and you see, and I made a scarf for myself. Not that I wear scarves often, but I thought it would be neat. So it's got every color. Here's my favorite section. These are their neon bright colors. This one, and this one. Neon brights. They're really good. I really like them. Here's a section of blues and purples. And then this last section here from like this green. And the golden yellow, and you see this, kind of got a vintage feel to it, don't you think? And then I ended on their patty green or emerald green. It's not my favorite shade of green, or it's just not in the right spot. So it's got all 60 or 70 or 80 colors, and it's a scarf for myself. Now, look at that. I left the tail end and left the tail end. And did I sew them in? No. I could have. I could have sewed them in back in 2015, and I could have been using this for the last 5, 6, 7 years. But did I? No. I don't know what my problem is with finishing projects. Don't know why I don't do it. But there we go. Let's leave that on while we do the rest of the bin, huh? Oh, all this yarn in the middle. I know what that is. Alright, so, in 2016 or 2017, I did a crochet along with, Shapey's yarn. I want to say it's the Dutch company. The blanket pattern was called Last Dance on the Beach. And it was squares that we all crocheted and then stitched them together and made a blanket. This is one of their patterns. It is, are they baubles? Popcorns? I don't know, I don't remember, but I made a square that has a heart on it with these little popcorns, right? It's just, I had liked it so much that I wanted to make one for myself that wasn't in my blanket. And I did it in that shade of blue. Then I did it in this shade of blue, but I actually didn't finish it, see? Because I wasn't sure which shade of blue I liked better. I like them both, but I think I like this one better. So for now, I'm just going to stick them in my sample pile. Because I had no plan for it. I just wanted to make a square that had a heart on it because I thought it was so cute. Alright, and then here is my abandoned project. I think it's a blanket. In that ball of yarn that was in one of my other bins that we did a couple weeks ago, it was like an oatmeal color that has flecks of mustard yellow and like a slate blue or gray. It's an awesome color. I think I was making a blanket, like a lap blanket. Single crochets, double. It's got like 10 or 15, no, 10. 10 rows of single crochet, then a row of double. And then 6 or 7 rows of single crochet, then a row of double. So I was just doing random numbers and breaking it up. So I will put this in my project pile and we will do a video on this because it needs to be done. I needed to find a complementary color to do a border on it because the yarn I bought from Hirschner's, it was a Hirschner's brand yarn and it was discontinued. So I needed to find a complementary color to do a border. So that's why it's been abandoned. It's nice and soft though. And I like its neutral color that it's got going on. That actually would go very well in our house. We have a lot of warm browns and neutrals. That's nice. Oh, I can't wait till we get to that one. It's amazing what I find in these bins. Alright, I have some yarn in this bin that belongs to a project that I was working on. A project that I got so stuck with in 2015 that has been sitting and waiting for me to get back to it. I tried again in like 2018 or 19 to come up with another plan for it, and it didn't quite work for me. So it's in a timeout, and it's practically been in a timeout since 2015. Oh, and it drives me crazy. I had a vision, and then I lost my vision, and then I had no idea where I was going with it. So anyway, I'm calling it my vintage stripe blanket, and hopefully you guys will have seen it by now. This is the yarn that goes to it. This is a little baggie with my yarn labels, just a little scrappy leftovers, and my notes for it, right? But this is the yarn that I'm using. I'm using light blue from Red Heart Super Saver. Okay, this is how I started out, but this is on my stitch out. There we go. Light blue, Red Heart Super Saver. I'm using baby pink. from Red Heart Super Saver. I am using soft white. I love the soft white from Red Heart. I'm also using their brightest shade of yellow. It's literally called Bright Yellow. And you're like, these colors do not match. I know, but you just bear with me, okay? I'm also using Loops and Threads Impeccable, and the color is called Grass. Alright, see the thing is, I have a sheet that I bought from the thrift store, and it's vintage, it's from the 70s, and it has stripes on it, and the stripes are a soft white, and then it has stripes of baby pink, baby blue, a yellow that's very similar to this one. I did everything I could to color match to the sheet that I have, and then this grassy green. So these are going to my vintage stripe blanket that is based on a sheet I bought at the thrift store. And that blanket has been in a timeout since 2015 because I'm so stumped with it. But that's where this yarn goes. And it's in Random Yarn Bin number 15. So maybe now I can stick it with the blanket and then figure out what I plan on doing with it. Also in Random Yarn Bin number 15 is a bunch of yarn labels and some notes and a pattern, and these all belong to other projects, and I have to sort through these, find out what projects they go to, and stick them with the projects. So I have so many yarn labels here. 27 yarn labels. 2 different sets of notes. That's a note about ideas that I wanted to try out. And then this is a pattern. This is not last week's video, the video before, I want to say, of those granny squares that I was working on that I didn't like them because they came out too big. This is the chart for the pattern. I found it at Yarnspiration's website. But when I go to do that blanket as a video, I will give you guys the link or show you where you can find it, okay? So that is Random Yarn Bin number 15. And since this video is not quite 20 minutes long, I got a bag of yarn to go through. Yarn I bought from Hirschner's. Let's see the date, because I put myself on a yarn buying ban a couple months ago. Yeah, alright, so I bought this back in April of 2022. And I shouldn't have, because I knew I was having a problem with all the yarn in my house. But I told myself I needed it for a project so I could finish that project. Did I use it for that project? No. Did I finish that project? No. But it's been sitting in the bag, moving around from spot to spot to spot in my house. Am I frustrated with myself? Yes. Do not do what I do. Do not buy it and say, yeah, I'm going to use it, and then never use it. Alright, we've got Karen Simply Soft. This is my favorite color. I love their off-white color. This is better than Red Heart Super Saver and their soft white. Karen calls this off-white instead of soft white, and I just love the creaminess of it. There you go. Karen Simply Soft is a number 4 medium weight. This ball is, or skein, is 6 ounces, 170 grams, 315 yards, 268 meters, 100% acrylic. Oh, I love it. So there are 2 skeins of that. And then I have 2 of my other favorite color, which is the golden yellow. They just call it gold. I call it golden yellow. I don't know why. That's just what I call it. So I have 2 of this. I was going to use this to do a border on my Karen Simply Soft color sample blanket, but I never got around to it because it's not my oldest project in the house. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I've been trying to do my projects by the oldest, okay? And I had to go use my computer to help me date everything with the pictures I have. Not that I took pictures of everything. So there we go. 4 brand new balls of yarn that I haven't used. Like I thought I was going to use them, and I just needed to buy them. In a bag. Sitting in the pile. Alright. 1 more ball in there. It is Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend because I have a blanket started with their Comfy Cotton Blend, and it's the only cotton I've been able to work with because it is 50% cotton and 50% polyester. Um, it is, I love the texture of this. It is soft, it is smooth, it is satiny for a cotton. I think it's the polyester that helps that, right? So this color is called Lovey Dovey. It is 7 ounces, 200 grams, 392 yards, and 358 meters. I bought this at the same time I bought my Simply Soft because it is going towards a blanket. And yeah, I felt the need that I needed it right away. And then that blanket got moved. I lost track of the blanket. So there's the yarn for it. So, random yarn blend number 15 is samples. Tunisian simple stitch, a blanket that it was abandoned, and yarn for my vintage stripe blanket that has been in the naughty corner for a very long time, my Simply Soft scarf, and a bag of yarn. Okay, so since this video is, I'm filming this in November, it's going up very late in December. Again, I hope you guys are having a good holiday. I hope you're not too stressed out. I think I have one more bin to go. And then that'll be every bin, box, and bag that I've had in my house. So one more bin to go. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. With all your kind words and your encouragement and understanding and the no judgment. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, one more bin to go, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for what's in the yarn bin. All right. I see you guys later. Bye.